I'm Roger, I'm an alcoholic. Okay? This is the fourth, as I was saying earlier, for the people listening at home, a little recap. Now, first phase admission, step one, we allow in an idea, a new idea. Maybe powerlessness is the problem, just maybe. And maybe that's why I can't manage my life either. The external circumstances, relationships, people, the internal emotions. Then we submit that thought process in 2 through 7 to a reappraisal, and starting with the idea that maybe I'm not God. Step 2. Do I believe, am I willing to believe there's a power greater than me? That's all. It doesn't have to be defined. It's just an either or, are you in, you out. Because if I say no, then I'm the power. And I think my power is what generated what I had when I got here. I'm just guessing. But I think that was self-reliance. And then we make the decision in the third step. We do the inventory, resentment, fear, sex conduct, harmful behavior to other people. We have a discussion. We take it to GOD, whatever that power is in 6 and 7, right? The submitting of my process, my thinking, my perceptions, my ideas, my philosophy, submitting that to a different way of looking at it, right? That gets me in the proper position to do my restitution, which is 8 and 9. While I'm doing the restitution in 8 and 9, I need sustenance. I need to be held, I need to grow, I need to be lifted. That's 10, 11, 12. The construction. If we think about the construction, a lot of us, when we start out, we're thinking, drinking problem, not drinking, problem solved. And then we sit around for a while, and we realize there's a few other things laying in the weeds. Like I can't sleep. I'm paranoid as hell. I'm wondering what you all are thinking, and why you're thinking it. Why is everyone thinking about me? And why are they such unkind thoughts? Bastards. That's a spiritual term. Anyway, I find that I can't stop thinking about other things. I'm really distracted. It's called external referral. I'm really, really, really concerned with what's going on around here. This is the hallmark of selfish, self-centered fear, because my orientation has always been me, 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 right? And now I'm sober and I'm finding out I still got this me, 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 me thing going. What's this have to do with me? What are you going to bring to me? How are you going to help me? There's no giving in me. There's no how can I help you? What can I give to this day? It's all about me and what I need to be able to get through the day, right? So, to use the metaphor of building a house, we use plans. And no one starts with the roof. They start with the foundation, right? And there are rules and regulations about how you put a foundation in because we want the house to be solid, right? Our foundation's really the first 2 steps. Just how powerless am I? Right? Just what do you mean by that? You know, I'm certainly powerless over alcohol, but the powerlessness over the emotions, the perceptions, the way I interact with other human beings and other things, institutions, internal revenue, police department, lawyers, financial institutions, or how they interact with me. I mean, that, you know, was totally beyond the pale. So, if I'm going to construct this house, that's why the book spends so much time. It spends 60 pages in the first 2 steps. The doctor's opinion plus 60 pages on are you an alcoholic, which means, in short form, have you lost the ability to control your drinking and predict your behavior? Yes or no? Have you lost the ability to manage your life? What the hell does that mean? That means at the end of the day, when you sit down with yourself, put your little head on the pillow at night, you happy? Got a sense of purpose and direction, joy, peace, serenity? Any of that? Well, not really. I do have a 5-year plan. And I'm sure at the end of that 5 years I'll have some of those things. But right now I'm just working towards it. Right? I've got a lot to let go of. Yes, I'm letting go. Some of this stuff is so sticky. Anyway, so foundationally, I mean, most of you know me, so this isn't new news, but I started this thing out thinking I was an atheist, thinking there was no God. It took me time, and I'm not talking weeks, I'm talking about a few years, to be able to just cop to the fact of that second half of the first step. That's what the unmanageability is. I don't have the power. I don't have the necessary power, not just with the drinking. I don't have it with you. I don't have it with my emotions. I don't have it with the way I see stuff. I can't walk into a room without a plan. I can't walk into a room without a plan. And once I get in the room, the plan expands. Because I got to figure out who's running the room. And then I got to figure out how I'm going to take the room over. Because that's the only time I feel safe. Right? Is when I'm in charge. Or have the illusion that I'm in charge. And there's a couple ways you can do that. But I can't do it that way anymore because I'm sober. That's not how sober people are supposed to act. Right? You can blow it up with ridiculous behavior. You can blow it up with threats and intimidation. Or you can blow it up with humor. But the idea is to wait until I get all eyes on me. Then I feel, that's when I say I feel safe. I feel like I'm in control now. And that's just nonsense. It's nonsense. That means if there's 50 people in the room and there's one of you that is not paying attention, I will ignore the 49 and I will desperately try to get number 50 on my side because I have no idea that I'm ruled by this insecurity and fear. So coming up on the second step idea is a big deal because ultimately what it's saying is, can you admit to yourself, Roger, that you're not God? As an atheist, I'm thinking self-reliance, self-will is the key to successful living, right? What's the American dream? Go out and grab it. You want it? Make it happen. Go to college. Get a degree. Find a him. Find a her. Make a bunch of money. You'll be happy. Get a house. Get two. Get some cars. You'll need some toys. Get some toys. Get a dog. Get a cat. Get two. Have some kids. That'll help. Oh, 10. Yeah, we need kids. That's it. Right. Sanctify our love. Children, that's what we need. And you just spend all this time building this thing that I'm calling Roger for my life. And it's just stuff. It has no substance. Even my relationships don't have substance. Even if I marry you. It's because how you complete me. It's what you bring to the deal. That's why I divorced you. Because it turns out you weren't the magic pill. You didn't fix me. I didn't know I wanted you to fix me. I just wanted you to complete me. Right? Kind of a soulmate thing. Yeah. It was all a transaction. So to come to this idea, I came to it through the unmanageability of my emotions. I could not predict what kind of day I was going to have when I woke up. I couldn't predict what was going to happen from period to period. I had no control because I was reacting to everything. And that is one of the organizing principles of this 12-step idea is the failure of self-reliance. Well, if self-reliance has failed, this is the challenge. If management has failed in the first step, then the challenge is to hire new management, which puts the atheist right in the corner. Because I'll agree it's a mess, but who better than me? Who loves me more than me? Who cares about my agenda more than me? And what I can't see is your agenda doesn't work. It's never worked. That's how you got here in this situation. So, slowly over a period of time, acquiescing the idea that maybe I didn't have the power to make me have a life that worked. I'm not talking about cars and boats and planes. I'm talking about inside. I would just like to be able to walk on the planet and have a modicum of peace. Instead of going around with full shields up and armed and locked and loaded all the time. Because you never know. You just never know. Right? And I want to be ready, right? But I can't see that all the scenarios I'm imagining are all negative. I don't ever imagine anything working out. If it works out, it's because I made it happen. So this failure of self is a huge piece. I have to be able to make friends with that idea in an authentic way for me. I am not going to say God made this possible. I am not going to say the Holy Spirit entered me the last night I drank and my life changed from that point forward. I am not going to say Jesus did it. I'm not going to say Bill Wilson did it. I'm not going to say the ghost of Eddie T did it. I am not going to say any of that stuff, but I will cop to this. Something's happening. Something's happening that I can't explain, nor could I produce on my own. First thing, obsession is gone. Good news, bad news. It's nice to have the monkey off my back, but now the question is, how'd that happen? And it clearly did not happen because of my force of will. Clearly did not. Because if I could have done that, I would have done that. If I could have been happy, I'd have flipped the happy switch and I'd been happy. If I could have peace, I'd have flipped the peace switch. But I don't have my peace machine anymore. I don't have whiskey. I don't have drugs. That was the only peace I ever knew, and that really wasn't peace. It was sedation. It was medically induced coma some nights. But it wasn't peace. I thought it was peace, right? Because I could get so messed up that I couldn't think or feel anymore. And there's peace. Can't stay that way all the time. So that the foundation is critical. Then we got to have a subfloor. We got to have walls. We got to rough it in, and that's what we're doing with the fourth step. We're roughing it in. We're finding out in a general way some of the big problems, some of the big turds in the sandbox. And it says it. You made a good start. You found some of the grosser handicaps, right? That tells me that these are just the big things, right? Have a conversation, give it to God in 6 and 7. If there's something you still hold on to, ask to have a change of mind, change of heart, change of consciousness, change of awareness, change in the way you feel that. But you do not have to wait till that's gone to proceed. But you are directed to pray to have a different heart about it. Those are my words, not theirs. But so I'm doing all that, and then I'm into this restitution. I was wrong, this is how I harmed you phase. For me, that's when I started getting a little bit of freedom from the past. Because I owed everybody, and there were people looking for me. There were states I couldn't go to, and there were a lot of places in town I couldn't go to without an extreme amount of paranoia and a flashlight. So what I did when I stumbled into this was I found out that that's when my depression started coming up. And when I look back, I know exactly what's going on. This stuff can't haunt you if it's resolved. If I've dealt with my past, now it's dead. It wasn't dead before I did the amend. I was dragging it around with me. God, I don't want to run into her. God, I don't want to run into them. God, I can't go to Wisconsin. I can't go to Nebraska. I can't go to Kansas. I can't go to Texas. Shit. And I can't afford to fly. So travel slow and low. No. Maybe Canada. You can't get into Canada. Oh, shit. So, all that's gone. But it didn't take weeks. It took years. It took years. So, that's the process. So, those are the walls I'm building and the roof I'm putting on the house. I mean, you can decorate the house any way you want. You know, hopefully, there's some recovery in the house. Hopefully there's some prayer and meditation. And there's a space in that house, being a metaphor for my life. There's a space in there for my relationship with the Creator. Because if I haven't got it yet, I need to hook up. What's making this possible is my relationship with the thing I don't think is there. I'm doing things I don't think will work based on an idea that I don't think exists. And I'm getting results that are inexplicable. Shit. I desperately don't want to be wrong about this. And all the indicators are I'm wrong. There is something I've tapped into, regardless of what I call it. There's something I've tapped into. And the more I do certain things, the more I experience that. So now we're putting the roof on the house to make sure and that's the construction phase. I've been building this house, and now I want to keep it safe, and I want to have a place that's warm that I can thrive in. I'll ignore that. I can't ignore that second time. Get the paddle. Plug them in the wall. We'll make an example out of this one.
Start over.
I'm Roger, an alcoholic. Welcome to the gallery. We'll be done by midnight. Don't you fret. So, this is the piece that I see everyone falling away on. People will just roll it, really enthusiastically do this stuff until they get a little of this stuff off their backs in the restitution phase, and then they get complacent. They get lazy. They get distracted, and they get confused, and they get hypnotized by the success. What does the book say? Don't rest on your past quarrels, your past successes. Right? That is not the destination. That's just information and experience that proves you're moving the right direction. Successes. I'm getting free of this. I'm getting freer of that. I'm not as afraid anymore. I'm starting to be able to sleep. I'm not so paranoid. I'm not carrying my gun anymore. Well, not every day. Okay, I got rid of the gun. I still have a boot knife. Okay, I got rid of the knife. I still have a little persuader under the front seat of my truck. Just a consciousness eraser. Anyway, so this is where everyone bails, or a lot of people bail. Not everyone. Continue to take personal inventory. When I'm wrong, promptly admit it. Continue to watch for selfishness, dishonesty, resentment, and fear. Promise, when these crop up, not if. Promise, they're gonna crop up. What do? Ask God to remove it. Talk to someone immediately. Make amends if necessary. I'll know that from the conversation. Fourth thing, resolutely turn your thinking to someone you can help. Doesn't say another alcoholic. What is the key? The key is to get out of this self-obsession. My mind can only think about one thing at a time. And now I got to think about, how can I make Brian's day better? How can I make John's day better? What can I do to move this thing along? And it's with resolution, not casually. Resolutely turn my thinking, which is the problem, off the selfishness, the self-centeredness, the lying, the cheating, the inconsideration, onto helpfulness, compassion, kindness, mercy, grace. So, here's one of the ways I talk about this. This is the horizontal plane of living. This is the material world, the three-dimensional world we live in. We have jobs, we have relationships, we have dogs, cats, kids, we have divorces, we have lawyers, we have truckers, we have chickens. We have all this stuff, and we are in relationship with it. We have bank accounts. We have credit lines, credit cards. We have obligations and responsibilities. That's all this material plane, the three dimensions, right? I'm in relationship with all of that stuff. The question is, what is the quality of my relationship? Am I a steward of my stuff, or does my stuff own me? And when I'm scared, and I think the safety is in getting the picture right, I will keep acquiring. And what happens as I acquire more and more is I have to spend more and more energy protecting it. Protecting you from getting my stuff. Oh, shit. And now my stuff's getting old. I'll have to replace it. Because I need newer stuff than you, so you can see how well I'm doing. Right? And I've told myself a lie. The stuff is going to make me happy, is going to keep me safe, is going to fulfill me. And what I don't notice is I'm getting crazier and crazier the more stuff I have to manage. What is my relationship with the stuff? So, fine, that's 10. 11 is my relationship with the thing, with the it, with the creator, with the God idea. Now we're on a vertical axis, right? Now, as I go through this process, my awareness and my understanding changes, and I rise up out of being at the same level of all this stuff, and I start ascending. And that ascension is towards perfection. It says we practice. Honesty is the principle. Are any of us 100% honest? No. But we strive for that ideal principle. We're never going to get there. That's fine. Practice. Right? In any one of those attributes. I'm just striving towards the perfect state. I'm not going to make it. But if I'm striving towards mediocrity, when I fail a lot lower. And baloney is acceptable. When I'm allowing myself to be mediocre, when I'm allowing myself to be less than I desire to be, I'm selling out. And that is never going to work. It is never going to work. So, I need to understand that as I'm getting relief, that's not the same as the recovery. I'm supposed to get relieved. As I proceed through these exercises, I should get more relieved. There will be times also I get more scared. Because I'm going to run up against some very old stuff that I didn't even know was there because I've been so busy with all the ground clutter. Right? Fear is a good one. And the fear will move around. So, I need to have a relationship with that power idea. They say prayer and meditation are the vehicle. Nothing else. Nothing else. And all I'm supposed to do is ask, what is this thing's will for me? What is the right thinking for me? And give me the power to execute on that thinking. Everyone in here knows the right thinking. Everyone in here in every situation, almost exclusively, you know what the right thing to do is. You know it. But oftentimes we don't do the right thing. Because something intervenes, and that something is a form of fear. And we sabotage it. I fell a little short. And if I don't have this exercise in place, I'll blow it off. I'll minimize it. I'll ignore it. I'll make up a rationalization about it. And it will be in there. And the other things like it will be in there. And they will accumulate over time. And there'll be a point at which, in my recovery, I'm going to be sitting around going, this kind of sucks. I hear it all the time. Is this all there is? Isn't there something after these steps? I've done the steps. Surely there's some steps and some steps more. More steps. No, this is it. This is it. What's the limiter on prayer and meditation? Me. What's the limiter on my relationship with these ideas? My consciousness. What is the purpose of those first 2 through 7? Is to clean out my thinking. Not completely, but at least get enough of the stuff bagged up that I got some room to start to cultivate some new ideas and thinking. And this is not theory. You don't have to take anyone's word for it. Do it. Get an experience of it. And you may have a crappy experience. And it won't be because the idea failed you. It'll be because the way you implemented the idea was incomplete. And if you're doing this in isolation, that's an easy song to write. I've done your stuff. This didn't work for me. I'm a little more complicated than you. I got a lot of problems. And then they're insoluble. So I'm just hanging in there. I hate that expression. How you doing? Hanging in there. Hanging in. Hanging in there. Are your fingers getting tired? Hanging in there. Really? I don't want to hang in program. Shit. I want to thrive. Man, I was talking to someone about this just a while ago. God, if okay was the goal, I wouldn't be here. Okay? Oh, get... Stop doing the only stuff that ever helped. Now be miserable. Get used to it. Get acclimated, and it'll become okay. I don't think so. Okay? No. It's got to be really, really good. And I have to at some point realize, you know what? The potential in this is unlimited. If I kick ass, I can go as far as I can possibly imagine. In fact, I'm about 30 years farther than I could imagine. A lot of you know me. You know I am not a perfect creature. Aren't I gentle with myself? I'm much easier with me than I am with you. No, it's so not about being perfect. It's about striving. It's about getting an ideal and fixating on it and going for it. And you're going to screw up. Did I quick get it? I missed it. You're going to screw up. You're supposed to screw up. And in the falling down is the lesson. Now I got to, here we go. Embrace your mistakes. What? I'm trying to avoid my mistakes. And I'm really concerned that any of you might have seen my mistakes. Embrace your mistakes. Yeah. That's like admitting I was wrong. There was a point in my life I would rather have died than told you I was wrong. There was a point in my life I would have let you walk out the door, even though I cared for you deeply, rather than tell you I was wrong or afraid. I'm wrong every day. I'm wrong every day. And I still make progress every day. Might need progress anyone can see but me. You know, I got these 6 things that are kind of eating my lunch, and I do really well with 4 of them. 2 of them kicked me today, so I'm going to pay attention to them. And tomorrow I'm going to remember those 2 things. I'm going to try and be more aware. Not try and force my will. Just try and be more aware of who I am and how I'm showing up. One of the ways I talk to people I work with about that is just as you're doing this thing, or as you've done this thing and you review it, what is the principle that supported it? What's the principle? Just look for the principle. Forget God. Just look for the principle. I guess it's a principle that doesn't make you feel too good. Why don't you pick a different principle? Organizing ideas. And we do it all the time. We're doing it constantly. Everyone has a philosophy. Everyone has a theology. Even if you're your own God, you still have a theology. Everyone has an idea how this is supposed to work, and no one has the guts to stand up and ask the question, how is it working for me? How's this working for me? Not so hot. I wonder if there's someone that has something they could offer me that would improve this. Oh, God. I don't want anyone to know that I got a problem. Like it's not obvious to everyone. Here's a piece of work. Right? So I have to establish, using prayer meditation, which is going to have to be, again, a concept of your design that works for you. And if you're faith-based, wonderful. And if your faith is alive, wonderful again. And if you're praying and you're getting satisfactory results from that, wonderful. That's what we're looking for. And we want to grow that. For the person who, like me, that started with squat, here's an idea. Prayer is any thought that lifts your consciousness. I'm about to have a defect. Prayer is any thought that lifts me. Lifts what? Lifts my conscious awareness. Lifts me up. Gives me hope. Brings me an inspiration or a direction. That's a prayer. Okay? I know that's not what you've been taught, all of you, but I'm just saying for the unprayerful person, start there. Does this thought lift me, or does this thought suppress me? Elevate, depress. Elevate, depress. Go with the things that elevate. Okay, meditation. I don't think so. What else you got? Yeah, we got yoga. That's a form of meditation. What else you got? I can't even touch my toes. I got a beginner's yoga disc. In the privacy of my own home, I can humiliate myself. I'm trying to get this rusty old fat frame in these positions, and I'm huffing, I'm puffing, I'm going, this can't be that, you know. And you got some 25-year-old going, now just put your right heel behind your head. If I do that, we'll be calling 911. So I'm at pose 1, they're at pose 3, right? I'm going to shit. So that's meditation. If sitting still and be empty your mind, if that's meditation, I'm a total failure. And if I get exposed to a slice of something called prayer or a slice of something called meditation, and I can't get an effect from it, I will think it's my fault. There's something wrong with me. Common forms of prayer, petitionary, God help me. That big book is full of petitionary prayer. Another form of prayer, intercessory, God help Mary. Of course, that implies I know what's good for Mary, but I would just set that aside. Intercessory prayer. Heavenly Father, power, whatever you are, intervene on this person because really nice person and would like it to be okay. You know. Well, I had a friend call me. I've had many people call me and say, so and so, my husband, my wife, my daughter, my son, my dog is going in for surgery and they might not come out. Will you pray for them? And I don't know what to pray because I don't know what the outcome's supposed to be. So I always say, I'll pray for God's will. I'll pray for your peace. But I'm not going to pray for an outcome. Me, I'm not. Because it doesn't work for me, praying for outcomes. Then I have expectations, I have disappointments, it just screws my whole thing up, okay? So anyway, petitionary, intercessory, contemplative. Be still and know that I'm God. Grab a phrase, grab a word, and just be with it. Try it for 5 minutes to start with, and try and grow it out to 10, 15, 20, and just see what comes up. Don't look for something to do. Just see what comes up. Those are some forms of prayer, and the other is rote. We got a lot of rote prayers in AA. Let's do the Serenity Prayer. Everyone knows the words, right? We all know the song. There's that prayer. We all know that one too. Sacred AA prayer. 7-step prayer. Now we're starting to lose people. I really haven't gone that far. Gee, that's kind of advanced. Well, I'll do the Lord's Prayer. That's affiliation. No, we just say the words. We do this all the time. Say the words, say the words, say the words. And sometimes I get to be in a situation where I can stop the group and say, do you understand what you just prayed for? Do you understand what you're asking for? And they always go, serenity. Where's the serenity come from? Huh? Where's it? I'm praying for discernment. I'm praying to know the difference between something I can affect, do something about, and where my power stops, and I have to consign it to a higher authority. And we do it with all stuff. You know, we've done it with the promises. We've turned them into pieces of plaster. You know, like little baby Jesus things for the dashboard. Oh, the promises. Oh, the promises. Well, I'll tell you, if you're sitting in the room thinking about killing yourself tonight when you go home, the promises don't mean shit. How it works. Oh, that's when we get our purse situated and get our bottles ready and get our coffee and shit, really? So, rote. I don't care what form it is, because all those forms work. You know that. All those forms work. They work for millions and millions of people. Those forms don't work for me. That's all I got to know. It doesn't mean you're all wrong. It means that doesn't talk to me. I can't connect with that. What can I connect? Any thought that, oh, okay, I can connect with that idea. I could, yeah. Maybe I should get coffee for these people before they show up. Oh, I felt better. Oh. There you go, prayer. And answered. I had the thought, I took the action, I got the gift. I felt better. Because you had coffee when you got here. Someone had to make that, you know. And it wasn't me. But I brought the pot, damn it. I play it with them. I come in and say, okay, Just play with their ego. Who's the best coffee maker in the house? Oh! I need this full. Okay, you got that right. It'll be the best coffee. Okay. I need some chairs set up. Oh, the best chair guys are the one right here. Meditation. Entry level. Whatever you're thinking about. Whatever you're thinking about. Well, that would entail me stopping. Instead of being all distracted by this, and stopping and asking, what the hell is on your mind? What is the dominant thing running through your head? Taxes. Taxes are late. Taxes are late. That's my meditation. Taxes are late. Taxes are late. And then taxes are late expands. Taxes are late because you're a loser. Taxes are late because you're a loser and you have no money. Taxes are late, you're a loser, you have no money, you're going to jail. Get ready to sell the house. So tomorrow there'll be no taxes either because I'm too busy being scared of my meditation. So entry level, what am I thinking about? What does it say in the 10th step? Resolutely turn your thinking to someone you can help. Turn it to a higher consciousness, a higher awareness. I can't do that until I have an awareness that I'm thinking something. Self-examination. Constructive. Objective as possible. Self-examination. I feel crappy. There's only one reason I feel crappy. Because I'm thinking crappy. That's why you didn't make me feel crappy. You didn't scare me. You didn't make me feel less attractive. You didn't make me feel more of a louse. You didn't make me feel less than. I made me feel that. With what I'm meditating on. Where's my new car? I'm driving around town looking at all the new cars. Pissing me off. Mary's got a new car. Shit. Mike's got a new car. Carl's got a new car. Shit. 2 new cars in that driveway. Then you drive by a couple of dealerships. Acres of new cars. Acres of new cars. Where's my new car? I don't know that's my meditation. Where's my new car? Now I get home, I punch a hole in the wall. It's been a rough day. What have you done? Nothing. Just been a rough day. Up here. All day, my meditation was, where's mine? Where's my new car? Not, why don't you get a job and buy a car? It's just, where's my new car? Where's my sobriety? Where's my serenity? I'm waiting. No, move. Do something. Invest yourself. I'm waiting. Don't leave 5 minutes before the miracle. I got news for you. We're all going to leave here. It's not going to be in 5 minutes for all of us. But we're all going to leave here. And if someone gives me an expectation, what's your name? Jim. Don't you leave before the miracle. Don't you leave, Jim. There's a miracle coming. Don't you leave before the miracle. Come back here tomorrow, Jim. Still sitting here. For the miracle. Wait for the miracle. The Amish have a great expression. Pray, but move your feet. Pray, but move your feet. Take some action in the direction you say you want to go. Now we've got discernment in play. We got wisdom. So I think this is where I'm supposed to be going, and I'm moving that direction. And you know what? You're having this experience right now. Unfoldment. Things are just, it's effortless. Things are just happening. I got this thing, I got this idea, and everything between me and the idea is just being taken care of. I have no idea how this is happening, but I think it has something to do with this shit. So I think I'll double down on that. Because that seems to be working pretty good. Not, oh, it's working so good I don't think it needs that crap anymore. I need to understand. I'm creating a channel through which this power can flow. These steps are the exercises I use to create the initial channel, and then in 10, 11, 12, expand the channel. Make the pipe bigger. More flow, more capacity. My consciousness is, I don't deserve much, so I go to the ocean with a thimble. And I get a thimble full. I have a new expectation. I go with a 5-gallon pail. I get 5 gallons. Right? I will get what I expect. And this will put you in front of your less than crap, your shame, and your fear. I'm not safe because I can't trust. I have trust issues. Ooh. I'm not safe, and I don't deserve. And somehow, I've got to get this shifted around and say, I deserve, you deserve, we all deserve. There's no undeserving person here. And because you're prospering, it doesn't mean there's less for me. Unlimited supply. Unlimited supply. I can't make me get there. I can only create the environment for that change to happen. If I could make me get there, I'd have done it 35 years ago, and screw you. I'll be getting back to my glorious life. See you at the hospital. Every time I get full of glory, I end up in the hospital or jail. So, whatever I'm thinking about, that takes a bit of reflection. Ken will help you with that. You can reverse engineer some of this stuff. I just did something really stupid. I can't believe it. I haven't acted that way in years. What must I have thought to make that okay to do? There's the principle. What was that principle founded in? Fear. Not enough. Lack. I don't deserve. Shame. I'm unworthy. I'm filthy. I'm broken. Right? So, horizontal plane keeps me right with you guys. Vertical plane keeps me right with the power. Now, I go share. 12 step. Having had the awakening. And if I'm not awake, I don't have a lot to share. A lot of us think we're awake. A lot of us, in fact, get so excited that we just skip the middle 10 steps and go from 1, I can't believe my new life, to 12, let me help you. And we're really good to get people out of the gate because we're very enthusiastic, we're very excited. But when they get down the road and they got questions, all I can do is say stuff like, you need to go to more meetings. You need to do more service. Get busy. You need 90 and 90. No, you need 120 and 90. No. So, I will know that relationship if it's working out the same way I know if my prayer and my meditation is working by the results I get. And if I'm not getting good results from my relationship with my sponsor, and I can check the boxes, I have been thorough, I have been honest, and I have asked for what I needed. I need more on prayer. Well, I say the third step prayer and the seventh step prayer. Every time I get scared, I do the serenity prayer. Good. What else? I say the third step prayer, the seventh step prayer, and when I get scared, I do the serenity prayer, and if I'm really scared, I might throw in the Lord's prayer. Those are the words. I need to have the meat. I need to have the meaning. I need something from you, and what I'm finding is you can't give it to me. That doesn't mean you're a bad sponsor. It means I got to find someone who can help me. So conversely, when I'm doing this with you, I don't want to bring bullshit to the dance. I want to bring my experience. You can reject my experience and say, not for me, thank you. But I'm not going to lie to you, and my experience will be able to be correlated with the experience in the book. Two authorities, God, as we understand God, and this textbook. I'm not the authority, but I can show you what I learned from this exercise right here in the book, and I can tell you exactly what my experience has been of that. That's gold. Now, if I haven't done it, it's bullshit. And bullshit kills people because they leave thinking they did this and they never did it. Right? So that's what I'm trying to carry to you, is the whole piece. It's not the promises. It's not your depression lifting. It's a relationship with the God of your understanding that sustains you, helps you thrive and grow. It is the everything for you. When I'm in that God groove, I feel safe. I feel okay. I feel enough. You know, I need to have that go-to, that eternal go-to, not that's predicated on my sponsor having a bad week so I can't talk to him or her because they're going through their own shit. I need something I can go to that I don't ever get a busy signal. I don't ever get a no time for you. I don't get one of these. I've told you that 3,423 times from you, right? I get help. I get sustained. That's what I've awakened to, is my relationship with that power. That's what the steps are about. All the other stuff happens and it's wonderful. Some of us get relationships back. Some of us lose them. Some of us get healthy in them. Some of us get more money. Some of us lose some money. Some of us get new cars. Some of us get old cars. Some of us end up more broke than we've ever been and happier than we've ever been. It has nothing to do with the stuff. Burn the idea into the consciousness of every man and woman that they can get well regardless of circumstances. Powerful message. And then I'm to also take these things I've learned here and practice them in the rest of my life. I work with guys a lot, but it doesn't take up the majority of my time. The majority of my time, I'm dealing with them. Them who have no names, who have no program, them. And I need to be as good as I can be around that. I need to be an example of those principles everywhere. Not just where I look good. Not just in my meeting. Not just with my sponsees. With the store clerk. The guy's gas station. Like the homeless person on the corner. What do you do with that? Do you give them money or do you not give them money? Are they really homeless? The guy's got a raggy jacket on. He's got $200 sneakers on. He says he'll work for food, and he's got a frickin' iPhone. And then there's the more creative guy. Oh man, you're out of the gas. Only 3 kids in the car. I give you money for creativity, shit. I like your show. Sometimes I give money, sometimes I don't. Sometimes those guys who are coming and say, "You're not giving him money." I say, "Sure I am. He's just going to go drink it." I said, "I think he is. I think that's why he smells like wine." He ran out of gas. He's not lying. He's not lying. He did run out of gas. I said, "Why are you doing that?" I said, "Well, it might be the bottle that gets him to us. Or it might stop him. It just might stop him from breaking into someone's house to get some money or TV or something. It might stop him from just flying apart over in the hedge he's living in. Or it might all be bullshit. I don't know, but that's how I perceive it, right? So that's what I'm going with. I don't know. You never know. Whether it's the homeless guy in the corner that you give him $5 to, who says he wants a cheeseburger, or whether it's the sponsor you've been working with for 6 months that you just found out has been lying to you for 6 months. What's the difference? What's the difference? I don't think so. I don't think there's a difference. So here we go again. Carry this message, practice these principles with all my friends. Carry this message with you. You are not my success. Whether my sponsees thrive or not is not a reflection of me. It's a reflection of whether or not they took these ideas and ran with them. I may have been instrumental in helping them understand, but I am not going to sit around and go, "Oh, that's a success, that's a success, that's a success," and then what happens when they start dying? I don't understand. No, I don't remember him. Oh, I didn't know him. No, it's not my deal. It's not a scorecard. It's not a scorecard. So that's the construction of the new life. And the things I get out of it, I didn't even think they were relevant when I started. Help people. I'm busy helping me. I really don't have time to help you. I mean, I wouldn't even set up a chair in a meeting. I'll give you $1. I'm eating some donuts. Leave me alone. Anyone want to go to the jail? No, I've been to the jail. No, I don't go to the jail. Why would I do that? And you're willing to take someone through the steps? You don't want. I mean, believe me, they weren't lining up going, "Oh, will you help me?" No, They were looking at me going, oh, shit. So, but eventually, I built this new house. I have a relationship with something that I can't see. I have a relationship with something I can't see, but it's so real. I feel it. I feel it when I'm walking in it, and I feel it when I'm walking without it. When I'm without it, it's like moving into the shade. It's a little cooler. Can't quite see as things aren't quite as well defined, right? And I move back into the light and the warmth, and I can see better, I feel better, joints work better, I can get to position too. Right? So I didn't know. I didn't fancy myself a giver. I was a professional taker and a consumer. I was not a giver. I didn't know giver. I didn't know giving was going to be important. I didn't even know giving was relevant. I didn't even know that when I did it, I would feel better. I didn't always feel better. I would do things that looked like giving. But they weren't really giving, because I was trying to get. I was trying to get a thank you. I was trying to get you to notice. I was trying to get someone to say, hey, he's in it. Oh, yeah. No. Then you get nothing. You get nothing. What you do get something. You get drained and you feel more empty. You get the opposite of what you're going for. When I accidentally just did something for the sake of doing it because it needed to be done. Someone ought to make some coffee. They go make some coffee. Oh, I felt better. I didn't. Set up a chair. Oh. Okay. Hi, God. Your row's crooked. Maybe you just get the hell out of the way and let me do these chairs the way they should be done. You know? Oh, Ralph, you did that with coffee. That's my commitment now. Whoa, gotta have a job. No, I gotta be able to give. I give my time. I didn't know that was going to be important either. Turns out it's all I have to give is my time, and I got some experience I can share. Prayer, I didn't think that was going to be important. I didn't think I could have a relationship with a power greater than myself because I didn't think there was one in existence. And that's a bleak, desperate, lonely place to be when you think you are the only power that can possibly save you and you have acknowledged that power has failed. There's nowhere to go with that except maybe suicide. Because what it means is the rest of your existence is going to be that bad and worse. So, it's interesting when you do stuff out in the world, how much people don't give a shit. You know? I mean, do you understand? I just let you go ahead of me in line. I'm not saying I need a statue, but an affirmative nod would be nice. Do you have any idea? You have 15 items. I counted them. And you're in the 10 item or less line, and I am not saying anything. I'm not saying a frickin', not even to the cashier. Would you like an adding machine? I mean, an abacus? Something to help you count? Would you like to take your shoes off so you can count better? I didn't do any of that. Opening doors has been a great spiritual tool for me. I know a lot of you have heard me say this before, but I love that I'm so it's an improvement. I know doesn't like me swearing, so I sign it. I am so petty. I'm 35 years sober. I'm so petty that there are still days. It happened today. I went to the post office early to avoid them. Right? And there was one there. An old one. They're always old. And they're so damn slow. Right? Right? And I'm already in the door. And I'm having the debate. Open the door, hold the door, open the door, hold the door. Shut up and hurry. I can go in, I can get my mail, I can still hold the door on the way out. No. It's hilarious. I'm having this debate while I'm opening the door and holding it. Right? And she comes toddling through. And I'm thinking, bless you. She probably thinks I work at the post office. I don't know what she thinks. But she says nothing. There was a day that would have bothered me that she said nothing. But I don't have an expectation of a thank you. I'm just doing it because it's my way of acknowledging this other human being. We go through life and we feel so goddamn invisible. Doesn't anyone know I'm here? Doesn't anyone give a crap? That's indifference, by the way. No, I see you're here. I see you got a walker. Maybe you'd like someone to hold the door for you. Sounds so simple. And every once in a while, someone will say, thanks, asshole. Or every once in a while, rarely, but it often happens, and it's usually with older women. When I said old women, I meant older than me. Old women. I mean, old women. Oh, even older than Diane. It's kind of hard to imagine when. Anyway, lighten up. John's over here. Oh, God, now he's crossed the line. He's picking on Diane. She's over here laughing so hard she's going to pee. No. So, now this is serious. Every once in a while, though, there'll be this moment, and I'll be holding the door, and they're always little, because they're all shriveled up and old. Well, they are. You know what old, frail people look like. And there'll be a hesitation, and she'll look up. Sometimes there's a word, sometimes there's just a look. And our eyes meet, and it's like stellar. It's like the God in me and the God in you. Just hooked up. It was perfect. It was just perfect. No words necessary. I see that you and I are the same person. I see you as the creation you are. You're divine. I honor that. And who knew? Who the hell knew any of that was going to matter? So this is the template for constructing, building, growing, maintaining that new life. I don't know what the new life's going to look like. I just know this. If I take this period of time and compare it to the last 6 months I drank, better or worse? Better, then keep going. That's the only valid comparison, not how am I doing compared to last. Oh, I'm having a worse week than last week. No. Take the last 6 months you drank and compare this to that. Always better. Always better. How do I know? Because I like the results. Are they even and smooth? No. Because sometimes I get scared. And when I get scared, shit happens. And it's not always pretty. I've gotten a lot better at not hurting you with my fear. I've got a lot better at having it reside for a much, much shorter period of time. Minutes, hours, instead of weeks, months. I've gotten a lot better at using the tools. And every time I use those tools successfully, it confirms and affirms. There is a power. I have connected, and I can connect at any time, any place. It's always available, and it's up to me. It's up to me. It's always up to me. God didn't desert me. I turned away. Let's take our break. We'll come back in 10 minutes, 20 after. Thanks.